Alrighty then guys, welcome back to the Cryptoverse with me, your host, Chris Coney. So crypto markets are at some key levels. So let's get right into it so I can deliver on the title of this video, which is Crypto Markets at Key Levels plus some news. So we'll do the markets first, and then we'll look at my top news stories for the day. Just make sure you don't trade or invest based solely on anything that I say in my videos. I'm just sharing my own chart readings in these episodes. So the first chart up will be Bitcoin. After a good day yesterday, as you can see if you look at the chart here, big green candle from yesterday, it's right against, the price is now right against this bearish downtrend line when you put the chart on the log scale. If you've been following my analysis recently, you'll know what this is. It stretches all the way back to like February of 2018, and it's valid both on the log and the non-log scale. But let's not get into that. You can see previous episodes to explain that. Now this level has been tested twice and it's failed. So it was tested here on the 3rd of April. We got above it on the 10th of April and then fell back under it once again. But third time lucky, I hope. Actually, if I put it back on auto, let's look at the hourly, do the triple screen here. On the far right, we have the 1 hour chart. On the hourly chart, the breakout has actually happened. And the line looks like now it's good support. But we'll have to see as trading continues. Right now, we came down on the 9 a.m. candle. We're now on the 10 a.m. candle. And it's looking like good support. So this is looking, I'm pretty optimistic about this. If it can hold, then that's great. But we'll have to see as trading continues. We've still got 36 minutes on the current 1 hour candle anyway. So this is a key level for me because staying above this downtrend line, that's another point of confirmation for me that the market is turning bullish. You know, I was saying there's several milestones that I want to see that we cross, and every milestone that we cross is another boost of confidence that we are turning bullish, in my view. Now, if the price holds here or continues to rise, so it can hold or rise, doesn't matter. But if it does that, then the 50 moving average on the 1 day chart here, if we go back to that, is going to continue to rise up towards the 200 EMA, and eventually it's going to cross it if we hold at these levels or if we go up. Now, if we can get the 50 across the 200, well, that puts us in very good shape as well. Ethereum then is going to be next. Ethereum against the dollar, the one I've got on the red tab here. So Ethereum is also back at its own key level, which I think is $167, going by the Bitfinex chart. If I zoom out, you can see the significance of that price level. To my mind, Ethereum has failed to break out of this level at 167 when it tried to last week. But what happened was it broke out, found resistance at the 200 EMA, and then was rejected. It took like 3 or 4 days for that cycle to complete, but we're now back under 167 and testing it once again. So that leaves us back to break again above 167, hold above it, test it as support, and then really the 200 EMA, which is at $182, is the next thing that's in the way of Ethereum making any decent price gains. So that's that. If we can break above 167, test it as support, and then get past the 200-day moving average at 183, well then my price target would be further up at $232.78 to be precise. And the only things in the way of that are this line of resistance and the 200 EMA. So, I mean, let's just measure that real quick. If we, from the 200 EMA up to what I just said was my target, it's about 23-24% after the breakouts and all of the fog has been cleared and all the obstacles have been cleared. So that's enough for Ethereum. Bitcoin Cash. Let's look at Bitcoin Cash here. BCH, USD, on Coinbase. Now, Bitcoin Cash has broken out already from the bearish downtrend line in yellow and the green 200-day moving average. And I would say this looks good for $408, which is my pink horizontal line here, except for the fact that in between there is a gap in the price, historically speaking. So this price data from back in November is missing because trading was suspended while Bitcoin SV forked off from Bitcoin Cash. So the price data from around like $380 down to $271 is missing. So there's no historical data there to do our analysis on. Now that's a rare thing because that just doesn't happen, right? Now the fact that there's no data there, that's additional risk. In fact, if I put a horizontal line right in the center of that, that's where we are approaching right now. So we're trading in a black hole right now, based on most recent price data, which isn't there. So, price discovery from that part of history isn't there, at least not on Coinbase anyway. So that's enough of that. Let me get rid of that line because otherwise I'm going to get confused with my colors. Let's look at BNB Binance Coin, which is one of the top 20 and also looking very strong on the charts. It's stuck at $20 basically, and it's pushing towards all-time highs. Now, the all-time highs were from, January of 2018 after the mega bull run. And what did it get to? $25 odd, something like that? That was its all-time high. Now, I would say, what's the likelihood of us breaking this $20 resistance on Binance? Well, not on Binance, on the Binance coin, on the BNB coin against Tether. Well, I would say as long as the top 5 cryptos continue to show strong price action, well, then this breakout from $20 should just be an inevitability. Think about it, because Binance is an exchange and volume for them is good profits and all the rest of it. And just generally, if the whole market gets going up, doesn't matter what crypto you are, you tend to get carried up with the rest. So that's my view on Binance Coin. I've actually got some Binance Coin right now. I went in a few days ago, was it? Like a week ago, I think it was. A week or 2 weeks ago, can't remember. But I'm still in that anyway. And I would like to see if this breaks out, then that's definitely going to be some good gains on that one. Now let's look at Bitcoin SV, because that's got some fundamental forces acting on it right now, as we spoke about yesterday. Well, at least Bitcoin SV has stopped falling so hard. It is still down on the day. It's broken support at $60, like I said on Twitter yesterday, but it's still above its all-time low, which was from back in November of 2018 when it hit like $37. So from that point of view, this price dip doesn't even seem that bad in context, does it? So even despite all the delisting, the price is holding up relatively well when you look at it from that point of view. So that pretty much covers the top 20 coins. The ones that I haven't talked about today, the reason I'm going to skip them is because they have very similar chart patterns to the stuff we've already covered. So that's why I'm going to leave that for today. Now, before we get into the news, I just want to shout out Charles Masico, I think that's how you pronounce your name, who started supporting the show as a patron today. So thanks, Charles. I really appreciate the support now more than ever. I'm going through some emotional turmoil lately, so those types of things just give me a little boost, and so I really do appreciate that. Now, on to a couple of news stories that I think are worth paying attention to if you are a crypto investor, and you probably are. So let's move on to a Forbes article here. So what Forbes have done is they've put together a list of billion-dollar companies that are using blockchain technology. Now, although it says in this article, like government spending on blockchain should hit $2.7 billion in 2019. I think that's right. 2.7 billion. Yeah, it is 2.9 billion in 2019. Despite saying that, which is an increase apparently of 89% over the previous year. Well, that's fine. And yeah, billion-dollar companies using blockchain. But as crypto investors, what we really want to know, we don't really care about that, right? I mean, some of us do because we like the humanitarian and the world-changing benefits of blockchain. But if you're just looking at it purely as an investment, the thing you really want to know is, are these billion-dollar companies using any of the specific platforms that I've invested in, right? Now, the answer is yes. Bitcoin and Ethereum appear numerous times in this table, and it's actually searchable. But they make a distinction here between Ethereum, the technology, and the Ethereum public network. Because actually, here where it's got BBVA Bank, it says public Ethereum, and everywhere else it just says Ethereum. Because you can fork Ethereum, you can take the software, you can build a dedicated blockchain, an Ethereum-based blockchain that has actually nothing to do with the network that uses the ETH token that we all know and love, right? So public Ethereum, it only appears once in the list next to this company, BBVA, which is a company of regional banks in Spain. Now, rather than go on and on about the data in the table, best thing to do is check it out yourself, because I don't really know what you personally will find interesting. So I best not ramble on and say things that aren't relevant. So I'll leave you to do that on your own. Next up, we have Kraken, the exchange. Now, Kraken have formally decided to delist Bitcoin SV. So this is from late yesterday. the 16th of April. And this comes after they did that Twitter poll, and they had 70,000 responses, which is quite a lot of responses, really, isn't it? So this is another call to action, really. If you have any Bitcoin SV on the Kraken exchange, you basically have until May the 31st to withdraw it. And it says trading will cease on April the 29th. So if you're going to sell it, you have until April the 29th. If you're going to withdraw it, you have until May the 31st. Now, the major reason they give here is, they say, over the last few months, the team behind Bitcoin SV have engaged in behavior completely antithetical to everything we at Kraken and the wider crypto community stands for. It started with fraudulent claims, escalated to threats and legal action, threats and legal action, with the BSV team suing a number of people speaking out against them. The threats made last week to individual members of the community were the last straw. Close quote. So I've seen this whole situation being spoken about on crypto Twitter as an example of the crypto industry self-regulating. So let me know what you think in the comments. Next up, we have Rakuten, which is the Amazon of Japan, apparently. I know Rakuten because they have a big old affiliate network. I've being in online marketing for a lot of my career, I know of Rakuten. So they've launched this service allowing their users to buy cryptocurrency via the brand new spanking Rakuten Wallet. So if we go to the site, it's actually rakutenwallets.co.jp, and I've had Google Chrome translate this page for me. We can see what assets they are handling. So Japanese yen, of course, Bitcoin, BTC, Ethereum, ETH, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. I find that fascinating that Bitcoin Cash is always there, right up there as one of the coins that always gets listed on exchanges. I find that very interesting. So those are the assets that are available, and this whole thing is basically the result of Rakuten recently being granted a license by Japan's Financial Service Authority that allows them to do this. Now, the biggest benefit here is this is an easy service for all existing Rakuten users to take advantage of, since most of their personal information is already held and available by Rakuten for identity verification. They might have to submit a few extra details, but they're already halfway there. So this means more buyers of crypto, more liquidity for crypto, and overall more adoption, merchants, people spending it, all the rest of it. And Japan, it's a very technological society, so they are no doubt going to be using this in droves. So these types of news stories, Rakuten starts letting people buy cryptocurrency, they may not individually seem like much, but as they keep coming up, as they do, they're always trickling these stories. And when you put them all together, then we really have something. Now, there is more to talk about today, but I'm going to have to leave it there, save it for tomorrow in the interests of episode length. So that is all I've got for you today. Thanks very much for joining me. Hit the like button, please. Hit the subscribe button. That'll be even better. Hit the bell. Leave a comment down below, and also please support the show. I very much need your support right now. So head on over to the website, thecryptoverse.show. Click on the blue button that says support the show, and you can get a whole bunch of benefits for being a supporter, like getting rid of the adverts, getting access to the private chat group, and earning cryptocurrency rewards for being a listener. If you want to support me even more, you can buy my course, the Master Cryptocurrency Trader, which will teach you fancy things like how to read charts, how to place trades, manage risk, all that fancy stuff that I do in the chart reading section. This will teach you how to do it for yourself. But that is all I've got for you today. I'll be back with the next episode of the Cryptoverse. So until then, it's me, Chris Coney, saying bye for now.